It's Thursday, February 26th.
I want to see deals that are going to be tangible, that will represent material investment in New Brunswick's economy.
A 10-day trade mission begins today with New Brunswick's Premier along with the delegation heading to India with the Prime Minister.
Groceries, even that too, Pampers, all that stuff, it really adds up.
Saskatchewan has the highest rate of child poverty in the country, according to a new report. And we are just days away from Tele Miracle 50. Ring those phones, Saskatchewan. Stay with us. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
You know what I'm thankful for?
What?
Child daycare Colts. Oh my gosh. That thing escalated. Thank you for filling in.
But once you get back, don't you feel like a whole new person?
I feel lighter.
Okay.
I did some sweating through some sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right, there's tea in my desk if you need any
tiny
more.
humans, my goodness. Let's get to your news. We'll get to your weather in just a moment. We begin with Prime Minister Mark Carney kicking off that 10-day trade mission to India, Australia, and Japan. But there are serious questions over whether India is actively involved in foreign interference in this country. Federal officials appear to be downplaying the ongoing threat of foreign interference and transnational regression from India. Officials say Canada has been engaging in what they call robust and mature discussions with the Indian government and are confident Canada has the necessary safeguards in place. There have been repeated warnings from the RCMP and CSIS over the last couple of years, claiming India is one of the main perpetrators of foreign interference and espionage in Canada. This trip also comes after the Trudeau government accused India in 2023 of being involved in the killing of a Sikh activist on Canadian soil, allegations India has rejected. As the Prime Minister leaves for his trade trip today, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is saying it doesn't sound like the U.S. is planning to lift its tariffs.
The view of the American administration is that there'll be a price to access the American market. I think, every country of the world that I know of is paying a price.
The minister's comment comes after President Trump's State of the Union address. During that speech, the president doubled down on his tariff-based economic policy. His top trade negotiator is sending a similar message as the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement comes up for review. Jameson Greer says he has been in contact with Canadian officials and he expects them to visit Washington. However, the office of the Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc says they have only talked about a potential meeting face-to-face once. A new report is shedding light on child poverty in Canada, and it shows Saskatchewan has the highest rate of any province in the Union. Laura Woodward with why.
From clothing to after-school activities, father of two, Chris Moya, says he's seeing costs get out of control.
Groceries, even that too, Pampers, all that stuff, it really adds up.
A new report from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives is putting a spotlight on child poverty.
Saskatchewan has the highest child poverty rate of any province in the country.
According to the data, more than 78,000 Saskatchewan kids, about 27%, were living in poverty in 2023. The poverty rate is higher for children under 6, and nearly half of kids in single-parent families are living below the poverty line.
There's extreme variability of poverty within the province.
Child poverty rates are highest in northern Saskatchewan, followed by the Prince Albert and Yorkton regions. The NDP is calling on the provincial government to provide cost of living relief for Saskatchewan parents like Moya, including removing PST on children's clothing and introducing rent control.
Having 78,000 children in Saskatchewan living in poverty, no one in this room or anywhere in the province should be okay with being last in the country.
CTV News has reached out to the province but did not hear back by deadline. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
One of the 4 people accused in the 2025 quadruple murder on Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation pleaded guilty to manslaughter on Wednesday. The accused, now 16 years of age, whose identity is protected, of course, by the Youth Criminal Justice Act, pleaded guilty to 4 counts of manslaughter in Regina Provincial Court. Justice James Corpin accepted the plea and is The accused is set to appear in court for sentencing on April 24th. 2 Canadians needed to be rescued by U.S. Coast Guards after becoming stranded on Lake St. Clair.
Going out there, finding them, recovering them, taking them to the airport, there's a huge cost. And that cost went to the taxpayers of the United States, not to Canada. So we're causing a cost to another country, and we shouldn't be doing that.
2 men and a four-wheeler got stuck Tuesday after the ice cracked and drifted off. The U.S. Coast Guard airlifted the men to the Windsor airport for EMS treatment, and both were uninjured. The harbour master, Peter Barry, who you just heard from off the top, says it costs around $1,000 per hour for a helicopter to do such a rescue, which will now fall on U.S. residents. He says Canada is just not staffed to, or resourced rather, to do this kind of type of ice rescue. He's issuing a reminder to the public to stay safe on the ice. City Council in Saskatoon is buying a building for a new drop-in centre for the second time in 4 months. Jeremy Dodge, what's going on up there?
Well, Daryl, City Council's regular meeting this week, Council agreed to buy this property on Idlewild Drive for $1.6 million. It will be used as a permanent 24-hour drop-in center for homeless people to warm up or cool down, have a drink of water, and to use the washroom. It is not considered a shelter since there will be no one sleeping at the facility. Now, Council previously bought a building on Avenue C and opened it as a drop-in center in November, but wanted to move it after the winter because it's next door to the Salvation Army's shelter. Plenty of concerns raised on Wednesday highlighted an upcoming daycare opening in May just steps away, and the lack of consultation with one of the tenants of the building, finding out about the purchase just this week. But Council felt they couldn't delay.
As a business owner, I pay. The repairs, the cleanup, the insurance, the time, the disruption, the stress, it all adds up, and it's exhausting.
It raises broader concerns about protecting downtown's long-term fiscal strength and maintaining confidence in the plans that are communicated to us as investors.
None of this is a perfect solution. I'm in agreement with that. I also know that we have an urgent situation that calls for action.
So the city will move in one half of the building on May 31st to begin renovations, and the goal is to open up in November. Saskatoon seeing a spike in drivers speeding through school zones. A new traffic report from Saskatoon Police shows nearly 40,000 speed camera violations in school zones last year. That's nearly 7 times the 2020 levels. Violations also nearly doubled from 2022 to 23, the first full year after City Council extended school zone hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. year-round. Police say part of the increase is due to Saskatoon's growing population, meaning more drivers on the road. But it adds, tickets are meant to change behavior.
As a reminder to those to slow down. It also generates those conversations for those that are receiving those tickets with friends and families to talk about those tickets, because as we know, people like to talk about tickets.
The SGI says one camera rotates through 4 school zone locations in the city. St. Michael Community School, it's on 33rd Street East. It sees the most violations. Some drivers have been clocked at 70 kilometers an hour, which is more than double the speed limit there. Well, Daryl, discussions over Regina's transit increase have been delayed.
The implementation of the transit fare increase was pushed back another 2 weeks by Council after it was tabled.
I am asking for some additional time to seek additional options to address the concerns that have been raised with this bylaw.
In December, during budget deliberations, councillors passed a motion to increase bus fares by 10%, a decision which has faced public opposition. At the council meeting, it was scheduled to pass the finalized bylaw, but the vote was tabled to its next meeting. The city hoped to implement the fare increase beginning April 1st, but the delay of the vote means so too does the date of implementation, which could cost the city thousands.
Will just be delayed corresponding amount, and then there's approximately $36,000 in lost revenues for every 2 weeks that we delay beyond April 1st.
Council is expected to discuss that fare increase on March 11th. Next time you're parking in downtown Regina, leave your change at home. Starting this Sunday, the city is ending coin-based payment at all parking meters, using its Pay by Phone app as the only option. Bags with instructions on the new process will be put over current meters to prevent coin payment, but you still need to pay to park at the meters, and all usual parking rules remain in effect. The change was approved during budget discussions in the name of efficiency.
We're going to do our best to try and help people navigate that change, but ultimately I think it's going to lead to a more effective way to not only allow us to collect on parking as we move forward, but also to change and adapt to the needs of parking.
As the program evolves, the city will begin the removal of physical meters in the near future. Interesting move. The federal government is expanding agri-stability to include pasture-related feed costs. According to Ottawa, the change will create more fair program support and address rising costs for livestock producers whose animals graze on the land they don't own. Now, the change is effective the upcoming 2026 program year. City of Saskatoon is getting ready for a very special anniversary. Tele Miracle 50 was recognized with a special flag raising in front of the City Hall yesterday morning after 5 decades on television and the telethon. Many in attendance were sharing what they believe was the best kept fundraiser, what's kept it going so long.
It's great that everyone is taking a piece of the pie and the shared collective responsibility, and I believe that that's ultimately what's led us to being here to celebrate 50 years, is because Saskatchewan has built and embraced and loved this thing for 49 years.
Tele Miracle 50 kicks off 7 p.m. on Saturday and will be running until the final total is announced at 5 p.m. on Sunday throughout the province on CTV. From Olive Garden to Taco Bell, Southern Saskatchewan loves to welcome chain restaurants, and soon another will be in the mix in Regina, Saskatchewan's first IHOP location, International House of Pancakes, which will also include a new Applebee's. It'll be open in East Regina on March 17th. The building used to be Chili's and then later a rotisserie buffet restaurant, so now you kind of get the idea of where it is next to that McDonald's. The new IHOP will be a busy breakfast scene. It'll join a range of local and national competitors. Both of Regina's former Applebee's locations closed last year, one of them reopening under a new name. Another option for breakfast, which it's almost breakfast time in most households.
Yeah, almost breakfast time. IHOP would be a great option. I'm excited for that one.
You can go for some flapjacks.
Yeah. Let's turn our attention over to the weather picture, though. It's a really great morning in the Queen City to be waking up. Also in Saskatoon, but Saskatoon later on into the later parts of the afternoon. We're talking about some freezing rain coming into consideration, or some of those frozen ice pellets. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Let's talk about Regina, though. Current temperatures -5. So a really nice start to the day. Winds right now coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. We are going to be seeing those increasing later on into the afternoon. In Saskatoon, -7 right now. We're seeing a bit more of that cloud cover than down towards the south, and that trend is also going to be continuing on into the afternoon. Winds a little bit stronger there right now, coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. All right, let's talk about this radar and satellite. We did see some snow overnight, so areas around Saskatoon there, and traveling down through the Parkland region, as you can see. So there might be some partly covered roads this morning, just a very light dusting. Take that into consideration for your commute. Futurecast, though, showing what's current right now. So here's where we're currently seeing that snow falling in areas around Prince Albert there, as you can see. Into the later parts of the morning, heads right over top of Prince Albert. This is at about 10:45 a.m. Into the afternoon hours, we see it kind of morphing around northern Saskatchewan, but not really pushing out of the way. We're really talking about the snow continuing to fall because we're still seeing some of those negative temperatures way up north. Down towards the central and southern zones, we're talking about some more of those positive temperatures. So that could be, as you see, some of those green colors popping up and even the slightest bit of pink. Some freezing rain bringing into that consideration for those late afternoon and evening hours. So be aware of that. Overnight, you can see some snow falling around Regina. We're not really talking about that during our day, however. Friday around 9:30 a.m., it's looking like things are going to be clear, but it's actually later on into the evening that we do see another system making its way into the southwest corner of the province around Swift Current. Again, not going to be impacting your day on Friday until the evening hours. Today's forecast with those temperatures, though, Again, for central and southern Saskatchewan, looking really good. Most of these are above the seasonal average, keeping in mind that the average for Saskatoon is about -4, and the average this time of year for Regina is -5. So Saskatoon expecting 4 degrees, even with some ice pellets later on into the afternoon or evening. It's still looking pretty good for your afternoon. 7 degrees for Regina this afternoon, a little bit more sunshine there. Weyburn 5 degrees, Moose Jaw 8 degrees, and Swift Current expecting 9 degrees. Seeing the highest wind gusts this afternoon, though, down in the southwest corner. Temperatures do drop for the next couple days in many places across the province. So for Friday, Saturday, and then they get a little bit better starting on Sunday again. In Saskatoon, again, seeing that same trend. Temperatures dropping for Friday, Saturday, getting a little bit better on Sunday. All right, in case you missed it, the RCMP is kicking off an annual tradition asking kids across the country to help name a new class of police dogs. The service says 13 German Shepherd puppies are set to be born at its training center in Alberta, and it's asking for name ideas from kids age 4 through 14. A few rules do apply, including the name given must start with a B. It also can't be more than 2 syllables or more than 9 letters long. Last year's contest for a letter A saw names chosen like Ace, Argo, Ash, and August. The 13 kids whose ideas are chosen will get a special laminated photo of the puppy they named, along with other prizes. Online entries are due by March 26th.
So must start with a B, no longer than 9 letters. Probably can't go with something like Bullet, because for obvious reasons. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
It's a tough one. Jeremy, you got any ideas roaming around your top of your dome there?
No, these restrictions are quite harsh. Big, you can have 2 syllables. It starts with big something. Big.
Bruno, we don't talk about Bruno.
I was going to say Bruce after Bruce up in the control room.
There we go. This brings us to our question of the day. Know about the rules when we formed this question of the day, so now it's added a degree of difficulty.
But we are asking you, what would you name the new RCMP police dog?
Apparently they got to start with a B.
Yeah.
So let us know. All you got to do is text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you scan that QR code on your screen. Let's take a look at the city of Saskatoon as you fill up your coffee and we get ready for a beautiful Thursday here in Saskatchewan.
Hello, welcome inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Laura Dyken here with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, let's head to Tampa Bay, head south for some spring training baseball. Nationals and Yankees here in the 5th. Joey Wiemer down the third baseline, and look at the play by George Lombard Jr. Barehands it, throws him out at first. Great play by the Yankees prospect, showing he belongs at that hot corner. We've got a web gem as your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, on Thursday here on TSN, you can see some NBA action when the Rockets take on the Magic. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And that is it. That is all for us here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
Healthcare advocates met in Ottawa yesterday to call for action to reverse a concerning cancer trend. Cervical cancer is the fastest growing type of cancer in the country, and experts say it's almost completely preventable. The Women's Health Coalition of Canada and the Society of Gynecologic Oncology of Canada are among the groups pushing for better detection and prevention of cervical cancer. Most cases are caused by HPV, and there is currently a highly effective vaccine available. Canada does have a goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2040 by vaccinating 90% of people under 18.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -5, a little bit cooler through Saskatoon right now, -7, still not so bad. By lunchtime in Regina, breaking into those positive temperatures, 3 degrees, mainly sunny. A few more clouds up in Saskatoon, though, 0 degrees by that lunchtime hour. Final bell in both cities, sitting at those expected daytime highs. For Regina, that will be it will be +7. And then in Saskatoon, 4 degrees. We are talking about the possibility of some late afternoon, early evening showers or ice pellets, though, so be aware of that. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina, the common price is $127.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, $119.9. You might find it for as low as $116.9. In the farm markets this morning, we find the street price of canola at $628.63 per ton and the futures price at $679.70 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton and red spring wheat at $263.66 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up this morning. It's at 73.07 cents US. A little later in the hour, we'll sit down with Miss Rodeo Canada. Stay with us for that.
.30, welcome to Your Morning. Thank you for being with us. This is my awesome water bottle. I'll just put that right down there and we'll begin news. The Premier is set to join the Prime Minister on a second trade mission, this time to India. Mick Fable with why and what's at stake.
Scott Moe is set for a trade mission to India. For the second time this year, Moe is joining Prime Minister Mark Carney on the trade trip, looking to strengthen trade opportunities and promote Saskatchewan food and exports.
With $18 billion in exports to India since 2007, this market very much is a crucial one for our province, and there are opportunities to grow this market for years into the future, further diversifying our trade.
Last October, India imposed a 30% tariff on Canadian yellow peas, and while a full removal may not be in the cards on this trip, the Premier is hopeful talks can open the door to that discussion in the future.
I would hope that we're able to have conversations that would exempt or not have that tariff increased on the products that we're currently exporting to India, so that we could, on future engagements, actually look at having those tariffs removed.
Uranium, potash, and agriculture commodities make up the bulk of Saskatchewan's exports to India. Saskatchewan's NDP opposition is in support of diversifying the province's markets.
The past year has shown us anything that's absolutely necessary. It's necessary for that continued predictable and stable revenue. We always want to see, a deepening of those relationships that benefit the people of this province.
Trade relationships like this strengthen Saskatchewan's economic prosperity, which is why we continue to focus our efforts on that very market diversification. That has been the goal and the focus of this provincial government for in excess of a decade now, and remains our goal into the future.
Moe added the trip will be crucial for building a better trade relationship between Canada and India, even if the yellow pea tariffs remain in place for the time being. The mission will run from February 28th to March 6th. Mick Fable, CTV News, Regina.
Innovation Saskatchewan is investing $460,000 in University of Regina research projects. The 3 projects received funding are advanced antibacterial research technology, water quality research, and the waste management system design lab. This money through the Innovation and Science Fund will help provide projects with stabilized lab tools, field equipment, and enhanced computer power.
Biology is evolving, and we have to keep fighting and keep evolving and keep trying new things all the time. So it's an ongoing process. We've seen some success, and we need to do more to address this crisis.
Dollar amount matches funding from the Canada Innovation for Foundation for Innovation and John R. Evans Leaders Fund. While many Canadians who were in Mexico when violence erupted in the streets are now back home, others are still stuck there because they can't find a flight.
I can understand maybe a day or 2 or 3 days now because of this cartel situation, but a week is unacceptable. That's just insane, and not communicating with us at all.
Megan Dimitri is from Alberta. She says her initial flight was canceled last Saturday before the cartel violence started in Puerto Vallarta. She says the next available flight WestJet is offering her isn't until March. Under Canada's air passenger protection regulations, airlines are required to book passengers on the next available operated by them. And if they can't, airlines must rebook that passenger on another airline within 48 hours. The Canadian Transport Agency has said it's currently investigating flight disruptions in Mexico. Meanwhile, Saskatchewan residents are beginning to return home.
Really hear anything other than when people started talking, or we had our Wi-Fi and we were online, and all of a sudden things were going on. But you could see in the distance from the hotel there was smoke and stuff, and that's when we found out what was going on.
We were never really afraid because they told us it was basically they weren't there to harm civilians, but it was just the idea that we couldn't get out, like if we needed to go home at that time, and we didn't know how long it would take before everything settled and before we got out of there.
As of now, flights departing and arriving in Regina are on schedule. Canada has announced a new aid package to Cuba where power, fuel, and supplies are running short because of a U.S. oil blockade.
Discussed Canadian aid intentions with Secretary Rubio or the United States. This is Canadian foreign policy.
Ottawa is planning to send $8 million in aid to Cuba on top of its existing support for the country. Global Affairs Canada says it will keep an eye on the situation in Cuba and respond accordingly. Imagine stopping at a red light, then this happens. Two cars swallowed up when a sinkhole, look at that, right on the top right of your screen, opened up on the road in Omaha, Nebraska. Security video showed two other cars narrowly avoiding following. No one was hurt. Local utility says it was a water main break. Let's turn to hockey. The Moose Jaw Warriors picked up a huge win last night to keep themselves in a playoff position.
Had it knocked away from him, and Trefny will find Brown with a step in on the right wing. He scores!
See Brown, son of Royal Regina golf pro Dean Brown, gets out the driver, hammers that one home. The Warriors ran roughshod over the Lethbridge Hurricanes, picking up a 7-2 win. Now sit just 1 point up on Red Deer for the 8th and final playoff spot.
Ash stuck near the Prince George bench, right side. It's intercepted by Karimov. He'll drag and score!
Regina Pats rode a 3-goal third period to victory over the Prince George Cougars last night. 4-2 the final. They currently sit in 7th, 4 points up on Moose Jaw. That was Ruslan Karimov's 15th on the year, by the way. Nice pickup from the OHL.
Shot, deflected loose puck, and it's knocked away from the side of the net. Knocked out of midair. Nice play, Nolan Stevenson. Evers, a one-timer, doesn't work. In deep, here's trying to backhand it in front. Oh, taken off the goal line by Matthews, and eventually it ends.
Saskatoon Blades and Penticton V's goaltenders put on a clinic last night. Got to show them some love. Blades come out on top thanks to a pair of third-period goals, win 5-3. The Blades have officially clinched a playoff berth. Let's get over to the Weather Center and talk about that warm-up. It was beautiful yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's another fall spring, right? And we're seeing those fall spring temperatures today. Once again, they do drop off tomorrow, so let's enjoy today. And then later on into parts of next week, we start to see them go right back up again. So again, we're talking about that roller coaster. Let's take a look at this morning view, though. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Not a bad start to the day in Regina. We're at -5. We've been seeing those clouds kind of fluctuate a little bit this morning, but into the afternoon, it's going to be mainly sunny. Right now, winds are coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -7. A few more clouds, and that trend is going to continue on into the afternoon, where we'll be seeing more of those clouds in the central and northern zone as we see some more of that precipitation there as well. Winds right now coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. But where we're going to be seeing the strongest winds this afternoon is actually going to be down in that southwest corner, and that's typically where we see the warmest temperatures, and that trend actually continues into today as well. But right in that corner of the province there, you can see those areas lighting up in red. We are going to be seeing winds up to about 65 kilometers per hour there. So some parts of the province will be seeing some very strong gusts this afternoon. Saskatoon and Regina kind of right on the outskirts of where we're we're seeing the stronger winds. It's not really going to be as bad there. So not all bad. Current temperatures, though, we are seeing some more of those pink colors indicating some cold temperatures to start the day up north. Minus 21 in Stony Rapids, minus 25 in South End, minus 14 in Nipawin, minus 1 in Spiritwood. So that's where we start to get into those blue colors where it's not so bad. 0 degrees in Swift Current, minus 2 in Assiniboia, minus 3 in Weyburn, and minus 7 in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, temperatures looking really nice. And again, I want to remind you that the average for this time of year is about minus 4 in Saskatoon, and we're at the inverse of that for Saskatoon this afternoon. 4 degrees in the positives, 7 degrees for Regina, where the average is about minus 5 this time of year, 5 degrees this afternoon for Weyburn, 5 degrees for Estevan, 8 degrees for Moose Jaw, and 9 degrees for Swift Current. But again, a reminder, you're seeing those that wind icon there, so we're going to pay attention to those. Battleford, Saskatoon, and even areas around Prince Albert, we're seeing some precipitation today. Areas more north of Prince Albert going to be seeing that snow, and areas around the Battlefords in Saskatoon, we're going to be seeing some freezing rain or frozen ice pellets. Temperatures will be dropping tomorrow, minus 11 for Friday in Regina, minus 12 for Saturday, minus 4 though on Sunday, so temperatures do go right back up, and then we reach the positives by about Tuesday. In Saskatoon, temperatures dropping to minus 15 tomorrow, minus 17 on Saturday, so a cold start to the weekend, and then we get a bit of relief on Sunday, minus 9.
Saskatchewan's first ever Miss Rodeo Canada coming up in March with a clinic. We want you to know all the details. We've asked her to come into studio this morning. Abby Hardy, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, where have you been? What have you been doing over the... You've been in office for what, 3 months, 4 months?
2 months.
2 months?
2 months now,
okay.
Yeah. So I've been kind of all over the place. I started in San Diego, and then I went up to Denver and to Texas, and then I just recently got back from Mississippi and Florida.
Wow. And spreading the message of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to let people know where I'm from. You know, we haven't had a Miss Rodeo Canada from Saskatchewan in such a long time. So just to be able to travel internationally and spread that I'm from Saskatchewan, the great province of Saskatchewan, has been wonderful.
What's that been like?
It's been really interesting, honestly, just to share our stories and to share the passion of rodeo that comes from Saskatchewan has been really interesting.
What are some of the stories that you're sharing?
You know, just how
vibrant our ag industry is, of course.
Well, honestly, and you know, it's just different to hear people's, you know, take on what Saskatchewan brings to the agriculture industry and rodeo itself. And I just, you know, I'm liking to share the fact that this is our one network to, you know, globally reach out in rodeo. And honestly, I think like being Miss Rodeo Canada and being from Saskatchewan, it's our one chance to share that Saskatchewan is up and coming in the rodeo industry as well.
I bet you hear Saskatchewan said a few different ways.
I have. Yes.
What's the most interesting one? Juan.
A lot of people think that it's actually Saskatchewan from the grown-ups phrase.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Naturally.
I don't know.
You're also doing a lot of outreach, and that's part of what you're here for today.
Yeah, I am. So I'm actually doing a clinic with Julian Ireland in March, and I'm really excited to bring that to Saskatchewan and to share what rodeo queens really do. I think it's going to be really important to the youth in our province and to these young girls that, you know, really want that outlook and that branch out to get involved. And I think it's just going to be really interesting to bring the professionalism and, you know, kind of what I've been doing as Miss Rodeo Canada and back to when I was Miss Rodeo Agribition, just to bring that forward in our province and to showcase what rodeo queening truly is.
I imagine there's some misconceptions when it comes to your job.
Yeah, there is, and I think it's going to be really neat to be able to, you know, maybe clear those up with some people in our province, and especially just bring forward, you know, the trueness of our rodeo queen industry, and also to tie into, you know, the best part about our job is representing our rodeo athletes and our rodeo stock, and I think sometimes that gets misunderstood a little bit, but that's my goal this year, is to just represent our athletes the best that I can.
All right, so we got to get to this clinic. Where is it? When is it? How do we sign up? All these things?
For sure. So the registration is still open, and the link is in my bio on my Instagram, and it's March 27th to the 29th, and honestly, if you hold the pro title, if you just want to come and compete, or you just want to learn a little bit about rodeo queening, I absolutely encourage you to. And Julian is a fantastic horsemanship trainer, and I'm really excited to have him and to gain, even his expertise, because he's just so valuable in the industry.
What's the Instagram handle so people know?
Miss Rodeo Canada.
There it is. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, Abby.
Absolutely.
Let's get on to our next thing.
The Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce topped estimates on better-than-expected results in its capital markets business and across all of its operations, continuing a streak of growth boosted by solid margins. RBC reported adjusted earnings per share for the first quarter that beat the average analyst estimate. Their adjusted EPS was $4.08. The estimate was $3.84. Their provision for losses was only marginally up above the estimate. NVIDIA's revenue rose 73% to $68.1 billion in the 3 months ending in January. That was 11 percentage points higher than the remarkable growth it reported in the last quarter. It also projected even faster revenue growth, nearly 77% in the current fiscal quarter, but reaction on the markets has been mixed. And a new Royal LePage report says commercial real estate activity is expected to pick up this year, in part due to return to office mandates. However, momentum within the industrial sector has softened amid ongoing trade disruptions. Among Canada's major markets, the Montreal region had the highest commercial vacancy rate of 5.2%. Downtown Toronto, the lowest, 2.1%. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's head out on location now, where Janelle Lippi joins a group of students ahead of this year's U of S bed push. Janelle, good morning.
Hi, good morning. That's right. Really exciting day here ahead of us. We are at the starting base, and I've got Laurel and Garrett here with me. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this organization process was like. So, Laura, let's start with you. Tell me a little bit about how this went leading up to this very moment.
This was such a great experience planning it. There's so many involved. Our Alumni Association, SEGA, was a huge help. All our amazing sponsors were a huge help. This has been going on for 42 years, and it's been such an honor to plan it. And I'm so excited.
Well, we're excited for you. It's a huge couple of days ahead of you guys. Tell us a little bit, refresh for people who maybe don't know what this bed push is all about.
This is something in our college that has been going on for 42 years. What we do is we push a bed on Highway 11 from Regina to Saskatoon to raise money and awareness for Tele Miracle, and Tele Miracle helps those who cannot afford accessibility equipment.
All right, and what is that goal for this year?
This goal is $100,000.
All right, well, some fun ahead of you guys. Now, tell me a little bit about the timeline. Of course, it's kind of chilly here today. It's supposed to get a little bit warmer as the day goes on. How many days are you guys doing this for?
We do it for 3 days. We're going to end in Aylesbury today, and then tomorrow we are going to end in Davidson, and then Saskatoon the third day.
All right, and Garrett, let's head over to you now. Talk to me about the energy. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah, we're all feeling good. The energy's high. Everyone's excited to get started. Day one, the legs are fresh, and we're all ready to go.
All right, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to seeing that Saskatoon sign and just knowing that we're done and we've completed what we set out to do.
A huge goal. You guys have a great couple of days. Once again, today is the first day. They're heading all the way over to Saskatoon. If you see them, give them a little wave.
It's February 26th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Tanya. Today is her 50th birthday. Have a fantastic day. Lots of love from Michelle, Corey, and DeMarcus. And turning 25 years old today is Tori. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. A whole lot of love coming your way from your friends and your family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least 1 day in advance.
What's up on the radio station?
Oh, I cannot hear you, Daryl, but I assume you gave me a great compliment. We'll go with that. I want to give a shout out to everyone doing the bed push out there. Did that a few years ago. It's a different vibe when you're running and pushing something and you can't have like that arm momentum, but for a great cause. I absolutely love that you're back with that once again this year. We're asking you today, how did your pet get its name? Because RCMP have the contest going out. There's a new litter on the way, 13 puppies, and the contest is out there. They have to start with the letter B. But how did your pet get their name? You can text over your story to 54321 this morning.
Sega Rewards has been named the presenting sponsor of Saskatoon's newest music festival. Now, Jelly Roll set to headline Outskirts Music Festival June 26th. The one-day outdoor music fest being held on the grounds of SaskTel Centre. Third Eye Blind, Cooper Allen, and Widemouth Mason also part of the lineup. Now, as part of the sponsorship, Sega Rewards will be giving fans who purchase tickets before March 4th a $60 credit to play the slots at any Sega casino. Tickets for Outskirts Music Festival are on sale now. The Children's Festival of Saskatchewan has announced it will return this year, but it's still searching for a title sponsor. The festival will return to Kinsman Park June 4th to 7th, featuring theatric performances, music, storytelling, and interactive play. The festival says for the first time in years, it does not have a presenting sponsor and is encouraging organizations interested to step forward.
All right, Kieran, uplift us.
All right, well, we're going to kick things off with the country's gift to every newborn.
Some breast pads, maternity pads,
children's books,
bath and room thermometer, digital thermometer,
tiny wee socks. Look at that.
They're so cute.
And then wee trousers. All gender neutral as well, because if you have...
How cool is this? So this is a Scottish baby box, something every baby in Scotland gets.
Wow.
It's full of essentials for the parents and the newborn. Yeah, and it was designed to give every child an equal and healthy start in life, which I just think is absolutely beautiful.
Some of those are essentials.
Yeah.
Right? You don't even think of when you leave.
And, you know, when I was pregnant,
But
I remember
also-
hearing about this, but I wish Canada had something like that.
Yes, JD, go ahead.
Yes. It seems like luxurious. I'm like, look at that. That's just a really nice box that everything's in.
Couple digital thermometers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did the caption just say condoms are in there as well?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Okay, sure, in case you don't want to do it again. The best thing about babies is that everything is new to them, even when it isn't.
Where is Spot? Where's Spot? That Spot, he hasn't eaten his supper. Where can he be? Is he inside the clock?
Oh, I'm sure it's not like this all the time in this house. 6-month-old twins are loving every minute of story time with mom.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. This is one of those nice moments that makes you go, oh, I could have another.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a trick.
Yeah, is the next video the reality where they're screaming on and off all night? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this hour. And reset, we got your more headlines on the other side of this short break. That's so... It's Thursday, February 26th.
Every country of the world that I know of is paying a price. What I'm saying is that Canada is paying the lowest price.
Finance Minister warning Canada may have to face a reality in which tariffs are simply the cost of doing business with the U.S.
I am asking for some additional time to seek additional options to address the concerns that have been raised with this bylaw.
Regina Council delaying a vote on transit fares, which could cost thousands. The mayor in studio later this hour.
Is a reminder to those to slow down. It also generates those conversations for those that are receiving those tickets.
Saskatoon seeing a spike in driving speeders through school zones. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. All you driving speeders as well. I'm Daryl.
Yeah, welcome. I'm Kayleen. We hope your Thursday is off to a great start.
Daycare bug has not got me off to a great start.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm just...
Well, so you made me a liar yesterday because the day before yesterday, I finished the show and I said, don't worry, Daryl will be back with you tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it was just my face. 6 a.m.
And everybody said, thank goodness. Let's get on to news. Prime Minister Mark Carney is kicking off a 10-day trade mission to India, Australia, and Japan. But there are serious questions over whether India is actively involved in foreign interference in this country. Federal officials appear to be downplaying the ongoing threat of foreign interference and transnational repression from India. Officials say Canada has been engaging in what they call robust and mature discussions with the Indian government and are confident Canada has the necessary safeguards in place. There have been repeated warnings from the RCMP and CSIS over the last couple of years, claiming India is one of the main perpetrators of foreign interference and espionage in Canada. This trip also comes after the Trudeau government accused India in 2023 of being involved in the killing of a Sikh activist on Canadian soil, allegations India has rejected. As the Prime Minister leaves for his trade trip, François-Philippe Champagne, the Finance Minister, saying it doesn't sound like the U.S. is planning to lift its tariffs.
Of the American administration is that there'll be a price to access the American market. I think, every country of the world that I know of is paying a price.
A dead country.
The minister's comment comes after the president's State of the Union address. During that speech, President Trump doubled down on his tariff-based economic policy. His top trade negotiator is sending a similar message as the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement comes up for review. Jamieson Greer says he's been in contact with Canadian officials and is expecting them to visit Washington. However, the office of the Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc says they've only talked about a potential face-to-face meeting, but nothing scheduled. Saskatchewan has the highest rate of child poverty in the country. That's according to a new report from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, saying that more than 78,000 Saskatchewan kids, about 27%, were living in poverty in 2023. That's above the national average. The rate is even higher for Saskatchewan kids under 6, and nearly half of children in single-parent families are living below the poverty line. Chris Moya says the cost of his kids' after-school activities, clothing, and food is getting out of control.
Groceries, even that too, Pampers, all that stuff, it really adds up.
According to the report, the child poverty rate is the highest in the north, followed by Prince Albert and then the Yorkton area. One of 4 people accused in the 2025 quadruple murder on Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation pleaded guilty to manslaughter on Wednesday. The accused, who is 16 and cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, pleaded guilty to 4 counts of manslaughter in provincial court in Regina. The justice accepted the plea, and the accused is set to appear for sentencing on April 24th. Saskatoon is seeing a sharp increase in speeding through school zones. Jeremy, that's a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, this new numbers, according to an annual traffic report from the Saskatoon Police Service. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on the reasons driving up the infractions.
Hundreds of drivers pass through school zones each day. Nearly 40,000 of them caught by speed cameras last year, almost 7 times the total violations in 2020.
It is concerning that we are seeing an increase in those speed tickets that are being issued out.
SGI says some drivers were clocked at 70 kilometers an hour, more than double the posted school zone speed limit.
The cameras are in the school zones, to protect some of the most vulnerable of our road users, school kids. We know that speed kills.
SGI says one camera rotates through 4 school zones in the city, including St. Michael Community School on 33rd Street, which it says records the most violations.
Our goal is to have these cameras there to reduce or encourage people to reduce the speed.
School zone speeding accounted for most of the increase in citywide speed camera violations, which more than doubled to nearly 65,000 last year, up from roughly 31,000 in 2020. while photo radar violations along Circle Drive largely remained unchanged over the years. Violations also nearly doubled from 2022 to 2023, the first full year after City Council extended school zone hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. year-round. Police say part of the increase in violations reflects a growing number of vehicles on the road as the city's population rises, adding that tickets are meant to change behavior.
It also generates those conversations for those that are receiving those tickets with friends and families, because as we know, people like to talk about tickets.
Police and SGI say the message is simple: slow down in school zones. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, the federal government expanding something known as agri-stability.
Yeah, that'll now include pasture-related feed costs, Jeremy. According to Ottawa, the change will create more fair program support and address rising costs for livestock producers whose animals graze on their land that they don't own. The change is effective for the upcoming 2026 program year. The new defense agreement is in place between Canada and South Korea.
As strategic partners, Canada and the Republic of Korea will continue to work together and to promote regional stability, reinforcing a free, open, and secure Indo-Pacific region.
To the exchange and protection of classified military and defense information. Ottawa has painted the agreement as a way to improve collaboration on several things from defense to security and research. The two countries previously signed a memorandum of understanding in January on the need for cooperation around economic and industrial growth. The U.S. Justice Department says it's looking into whether or not it illegally withheld documents from the Jeffrey Epstein files. In a statement from Democrat lawmakers on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committees, they accused the DOJ of failing to disclose FBI materials related to a woman who claimed in 2019 that she was assaulted by Donald Trump when she was a minor in the 80s. They say under the Oversight Committee's subpoena and the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the records must immediately be shared with Congress and the public. The DOJ has denied improperly withholding any documents. Saskatoon RCMP have charged 2 Edmonton men following a traffic stop along Highway 16. This is what officers seized on Friday when they pulled over a vehicle that breached equipment regulations near Wynyard. Upon further inspection, police found a bag with almost 5 kilograms of meth and about 4 kilograms of fentanyl. The 2 men in the vehicle charged with drug and drug trafficking offenses. They are scheduled to be in Yorkton Court today. The pool at Moose Jaw's Temple Gardens Mineral Spa will be closing later this year for renovations. Pepicus Developments, the owners of Temple Gardens, say the $1.7 million pool renovation is part of a 2-year project for the spa and hotel. The new additions in the pool area will include new massage rooms, more saunas, both indoor and outdoors, and a fire pit area as well. Other renovations are already underway, with 44 rooms complete and more scheduled for the coming months. Saskatchewan preparing for Tele Miracle 50, many reflecting on the history and progress of the show, which made its debut in 1977, and you can see this weekend right here on CTV Saskatchewan. Here's Hallie Mandrick with the story.
This was Tele Miracle 3 in 1979, a time Ron Barry remembers fondly. That's the year he took on the role of Tele Miracle chair. At the time, he never imagined he would witness the telethon continue for 5 decades.
Nobody imagined when we started that it would ever last this long, but it's just, people bought in province-wide, and they bought in till now. So it's magic and it's great.
47 years later, Barry watched as a flag was raised at Saskatoon City Hall in honor of Tele Miracle 50, set for this weekend.
It's very special that we still have some of our legacy founders with us to come and celebrate. It means a lot to us and to them.
Blackwell says this golden anniversary has many people reflecting on what's kept Tele Miracle going for so long.
Everyone is taking a piece of the pie and the shared collective responsibility, and I believe that that's ultimately what's led us to being here to celebrate 50 years, is because Saskatchewan has built and embraced and loved this thing for 49 years.
Barry says the show has come a long way in 5 decades. recalling how the team traveled to research other telethons.
We went to telethons in Edmonton and Winnipeg just to see how they operated, and learned a lot about it, and it hasn't stopped. It's probably the biggest telethon in North America now.
Tele Miracle 50 is set to kick off on Saturday at 7 p.m., running all the way through until Sunday at 5. If you're in Saskatoon, you can come on down to Prairieland Park and watch it in person, or you can either catch a live stream on the Tele Miracle website or watch it right here on CTV. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
That's right. So now we got to ring those phones, right?
Yeah. Can we just
Saskatoon 2 years in a row.
I just want to take a second though to say how much fun does vintage Tele Miracle look? I mean, it's so much fun now. We get to go many years, but that looked like it was so much fun.
Just as hard to answer the phones, I imagine.
Yeah.
I spend half my time like, sorry, was that 50 or 15?
I am still sorry to the gentleman 3 years ago. I couldn't get his name, and I kept saying Elvalk. Are you saying Elvalk? Is that your name? Elvalk? Whoever it was.
If your name's Elvalk and you're watching, good morning.
Good morning, and I hope that was right. I don't know. Let's take a look at the weather center now. It's not a bad start to the day. We're now actually at -3 in Regina, so things are actually warming up quite nicely already. Winds, though, have gone up. So right now they're at 20 kilometers per hour in Regina, 20 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon. So they've gone up in Regina, down in Saskatoon. -7 right now, so we've been holding steady at that -7 mark for quite a few minutes in Saskatoon, and we do have some clouds to start the day. That's going to continue on into your afternoon. Radar and satellite showing that we did get some precipitation late last night and into the early morning hours today. So take a look on your screen right now. Figure out if those roads are on your commute today. There might be a light dusting of some precipitation there. This is current right now on the Futurecast. So we do have, again, some snow falling in areas north of Prince Albert and just west of Prince Albert as well. By the later parts of the morning, we do see it going right over top of Prince Albert there, and then falling in some areas north of Yorkton as well. It's going to be pretty steady and consistent for that snow falling in northern Saskatchewan. However, down towards the south, we're talking about it a bit later on into the late afternoon, early evening hours. Continuing on, this is at about 10:45 p.m. So later on into the evening, we see it right around Swift Current there. Regina could be seeing some very light flurries overnight. It's not really going to be impacting us during our day. That system pushes away for Friday morning, and then later on into the evening hours on Friday, we do see some more snow popping up on the screen right in the southwest corner of the province late on Friday. Today's forecast, though, so as we mentioned, some flurries on the way for areas in central Saskatchewan there. So for the Battlefords, Prince Albert, and Saskatoon, what that could mean is a few light flakes and also some freezing ice pellets. So your commute might not be nice if you're planning on driving anywhere late today or early tomorrow morning. Other than that, though, down towards the south, we're seeing some really nice temperatures. Talking about the winds getting stronger in the southwest corner of the province, right around Swift Current. But the temperature will be about 9 degrees, 6 degrees for Weyburn, 5 degrees for Estevan, and 1 degree for Yorkton. Regina, as we just saw, the high today, 7 degrees, but dropping quite a bit tomorrow, down to -11. And then we see some relief by about Sunday, getting back up to -4, 0 degrees then by Monday, and back into those positive temperatures on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, dropping down to -15 tomorrow, -17 on Saturday, -9 on Sunday, -9 on Monday, and then the relief coming on Tuesday in the form of about -3. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. We're seeing some nice temperatures throughout central and southern Saskatchewan. However, with these nice temperatures, we are seeing some precipitation, which means it's not going to be entirely snow. We're going to be seeing some rain, freezing rain, some sleet, and of course some of those frozen ice pellets that could be complementing our commutes into the later parts of the day. 4 degrees though for Lloydminster, 4 degrees for Watrous, and 1 degree for Wynyard. Down towards the south, seeing some more of that wind in the southwest corner. East End up to 8 degrees, Maple Creek up to 11 degrees, Rockland up to 8 degrees, and 3 degrees for Carlisle with that mix of sun and cloud. Now let's take a look at Cudworth, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. We're seeing a high of 2 degrees today, and we are going to be seeing some of those frozen ice pellets into the later parts of the afternoon.
Hello, welcome inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Laura Dyken here with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, let's head to Tampa Bay, head south for some spring training baseball. Nationals and Yankees here in the 5th. Joey Wiemer down the third baseline, and look at the play by George Lombard Jr. Barehands it, throws him out at first. Great play by the Yankees prospect, showing he belongs at that hot corner. We've got a web gem as your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, on Thursday here on TSN, you can see some NBA action when the Rockets take on the Magic. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And that is it. That is all for us here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
Fresh off the heels of the Winter Olympics, the Paralympic team heading to Italy today. Canada sending 50 athletes, including 19 who are making their Paralympic debut, to Milano Cortina. They'll get a special send-off from Pearson Airport in Toronto this afternoon. Canada will compete in each sport at the Games, including para-alpine skiing, para-ice hockey, para-snowboard, and wheelchair curling. The 2026 Paralympic Winter Games will run from March 6th all the way to the 15th. So good luck to all of our Canadian athletes.
The excitement continues.
Yeah, continues to build. Man, they're exciting to watch. And man, some of that stuff is hard. Like wheelchair curling is hard. It's hard enough to do, you know, throwing it with your hand, let alone a broom or anything else. Wow. Yeah. Good for them. Let's get to our question of the day. RCMP is trying to name its latest batch of dogs. They wanted it all to start with a B. There are a lot of rules. We're just going to ignore those and ask you what you would have named your RCMP police dog if you had the chance.
And people were abiding by the rules.
They're staying with the B.
Yeah, I like to see it. There was a couple answers without the B, but they also followed up and corrected. So Gary in Regina saying, I would like the new police dog to be named Berserker.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sheldon gave us
80s
some
wrestler.
options. Yeah. Sheldon saying Bryn, Brooklyn, Brianna, Boo, Buster, or Buckley's. So they have options.
Or name the entire litter.
Yeah, well, why not?
Yeah.
Kathleen saying Bourbon. I think that's a smooth, like a cool name for a dog.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Aged finely.
Carrie saying name the dog Bradley. I like that one too. Daphne saying Bronte or Brondo. Kind of cool. Again, Bailey, predictable, saying Bailey.
Or Bailey.
Bailey.
Happy
Why not
birthday,
make
Bailey.
it double? Franny in Regina saying Bane. And Debbie had originally wrote in and said Phantom, which I really liked.
Ooh,
I thought that was a really cool answer. But then when she saw it had to be with a B, she said Butcher instead.
Okay. I think I'm going to name my next dog Fenway.
Fenway, that's kind of cool.
After the baseball park. Let us know what your new police dog name would be. Should start with a B. What was the other criteria? They had to three syllables, two syllables?
They asked for less than 9 letters.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's lots of rules. We'll ignore those, but if it start with a B, that's bonus points for you. We're back with our morning mystery in just a minute.
The Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce topped estimates on better-than-expected results in its capital markets business and across all of its operations, continuing a streak of growth boosted by solid margins. RBC reported adjusted earnings per share for the first quarter that beat the average analyst estimate. Their adjusted EPS was $4.08. The estimate was $3.84. Their provision for losses was only marginally up above the estimate. NVIDIA's revenue rose 73% to $68.1 billion in the 3 months ending in January. That was 11 percentage points higher than the remarkable growth it reported in the last quarter. It also projected even faster revenue growth, nearly 77% in the current fiscal quarter, but reaction on the markets has been mixed. And a new Royal LePage report says commercial real estate activity is expected to pick up this year, in part due to return to office mandates. However, momentum within the industrial sector has softened amid ongoing trade disruptions. Among Canada's major markets, the Montreal region had the highest commercial vacancy rate of 5.2%. Downtown Toronto, the lowest, 2.1%. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for your morning mystery. It is a thing. We got 3 clues. Play along at home. Clue number 1 coming up on your screen. Here we go. Originated in the early 20th century as a flight control mechanism for aircraft.
Okay.
Clue 2. The arcade game Astro introduced the first 4-way gaming one in 1972. And clue number 3. They remain common for flight simulation and industrial machinery.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. I think I know. Okay.
I'm panicking here.
Okay.
I think I got it.
I think so too. Hold on. Don't. Not yet, Jeremy. Not yet. She hasn't written yet.
I wrote my sad.
I know. Okay, answer's up. We got a question mark over there. The answer is the joystick. First 4-way one in 1972. Have you ever seen a joystick look like that?
I have, but I just wasn't thinking. It wasn't on my brain.
Is that an Atari on the left? Is that what that is, JD?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Bring back the memories. That was today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, not a bad start to the day. -3, a bit cooler through Saskatoon, though, -7, and we're also seeing a bit more of that cloud cover in Saskatoon as well. By lunchtime in Regina, 3 degrees with a bit of that sunshine poking through the clouds, 0 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, both cities at those expected daytime highs, 7 degrees for Regina with a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, though, 4 degrees, and we have a chance of seeing some light precipitation starting in the later parts of the afternoon and continuing into the evening hours. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina, the common price, $127.9. The lowest you might find, though, is $102.9. In Saskatoon, common price, $119.9, and you might find it for as low as $116.9. In the farm markets this morning, the street price of canola is at $628.63 per ton, and the futures price at $679.70 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $263.66 per ton. The Canadian dollar is trending up this morning. It's at 73.07 cents U.S. Coming up, some huge wins in the WHL last night as the race for the playoffs starts to heat up. Stay with us for the details.
Get to news. Premier Scott Moe is making another trade mission, this time to India, and he's not alone. He's traveling with the Prime Minister one more time, second trip that they've taken. It's a long-standing trading partner. Strengthening trade opportunities and promoting Saskatchewan foods and exports is top of mind, with the goal of getting them into the Indian market.
We look forward to continued collaboration with our federal counterparts to protect Saskatchewan's economy and to build on these vital relationships with countries around the world. Saskatchewan has an opportunity to remain a key partner in providing India's 1.4 billion people with food and energy security. And that is our aim on this mission, to advance that effort and that goal and the successes that may come.
This will be the second trade mission this year Moe and Carney have been on January. The two were in China, where they struck a deal on reducing canola tariffs. Cuba continues to grapple with ongoing power outages and food and water shortages, thanks to a U.S. blockade of fuel to the island nation. In the midst of this, Canada is sending millions of dollars in aid. Heather Wright reports.
At Cubano King's in downtown Toronto, the menu is simple but authentic.
How you doing, buddy?
Cafecitos, Cubanos, Pastelitos. Canada has been Felix King Risco's home for 2 decades, but his heart is still in Havana with his family.
They're not doing so great.
His mother, aunts, and cousins all still live in Cuba, where electricity is limited, food is expensive, and gas is scarce.
6 o'clock, there's nobody on the street. People are afraid of getting mugged. People are afraid of getting robbed, all the staff.
Since January, the United States has blocked all oil from entering Cuba, trying to squeeze the Cuban government and force a regime change. But the blockade has quickly led to rapidly deteriorating conditions across the country. Today, Canada announced $8 million in aid to Cuba to be delivered through the World Food Program and UNICEF.
And Cuba is going to need massive assistance of various sorts, and food, I think, is going to be a big one. So $8 million worth of food won't go all that far for a population of about 10 million.
It's a balancing act for Ottawa as it tries to provide aid that goes directly to Cubans and not the Cuban regime, while also not inflaming tensions with the United States, which has vowed to place tariffs on any country that sends oil to the island nation.
I have not discussed Canadian aid intentions with Secretary Rubio or the United States. This is Canadian foreign policy.
For Felix King Risco, he says his country has been through many challenging times, but this one feels different.
Something needs to change.
Global Affairs Canada says this money will be released immediately, adding they continue to monitor the situation in Cuba and will respond accordingly in the future. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
City Council in Saskatoon is buying a building for a new drop-in centre for the second time in 4 months. At City Council's regular business meeting yesterday morning, Council agreed to buy this property on Idlewild Drive for $1.6 million. It will be used as a permanent 24-hour drop-in centre for homeless people to warm up or cool down, have a drink of water and use the restroom. It's not considered a shelter since there will be no one sleeping at the facility. Council previously bought a building on Avenue C and opened it as a drop-in centre in November, but wanted to move it after the winter because it is next door to a Salvation Army shelter. Plenty of concerns raised on Wednesday highlighted an upcoming daycare opening in May just steps away and the lack of consultation with one of the tenants of the building finding out about the purchase just this week, but council felt they could not delay.
As a business owner, I pay. The repairs, the cleanup, the insurance, the time, the disruption, the stress, it all adds up, and it's exhausting. It raises broader concerns about protecting downtown's long-term fiscal strength and maintaining confidence in the plans that are communicated to us as investors.
None of this is a perfect solution. I'm in agreement with that. I also know that we have an urgent situation that calls for action.
The city will move in on one half of the building in May on the 31st to begin renovations with the goal of opening in November. With yesterday marking 4 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, volunteers from around the world continue to play a critical role in helping Ukrainians protect and rebuild their homeland. Carla Shinkaruk introduces us to a man from Saskatoon who has taken this commitment and the distance.
So I spent a day helping with that.
Nick Benton has traveled to Ukraine twice since the war began, paying his own way each time.
I decided I wanted to do this, just felt this was something I wanted to go do.
He had never been to the country before and doesn't speak the language.
I just started Googling. And I ended up on a website, volunteeringukraine.com, lots of resources there.
When he first arrived, he didn't know exactly how he would help. He just knew he had to. Benton connected with the volunteer group, Kiev Bats.
I was working on drone and impact sites. We were going to villages outside of Kyiv, and we were working on buildings that were damaged during the initial push by Russia.
He's helped board up shattered windows so families can stay in their homes. He's recovered keepsakes and tied camouflage netting for defenders.
My whole reality before it's over.
This is 17-year-old Yeva Shevchenko. She helps run Kiev Bats. She balances university with coordinating volunteers at blast sites. She says international support makes a real difference.
A random international person chooses to leave the safety of their home to come here and to do something and help us. It's really, it's amazing.
She says the need for volunteers in Ukraine remains urgent as civilians like her work for their freedom.
In these extreme conditions, I mean, we do it because we're Ukrainians, you know, but it's still a challenge.
Kiev Bats also offers English lessons for frontline defenders, helping them build skills for careers after the war. Each trip costs Benton about $5,000, but he says the need on the ground far outweighs the cost.
Suddenly people from Canada, Finland, Hong Kong, Australia, and they're all coming here. And So everyone's just shocked about the worldwide support.
He's not concerned for his safety and plans to return to Ukraine this summer. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The Moose Jaw Warriors picked up a huge win last night to keep themselves in a playoff position.
Away from him, and Trefny will find Brown with a step in on the right wing. He scores! What a shot!
AC Brown hammers that one home. The Warriors ran roughshod over the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and now a 7-2 win last night. 1 point up on Red Deer for the 8th and final playoff spot.
Ash stuck near the Prince George bench, right side. It's intercepted by Karimov. He'll drag and score!
Regina Pats rode a 3-goal third period to victory over the Prince George Cougars 4-2 last night. They currently sit in 7th, 4 points up on Moose Jaw.
Ross, here's the shot, scores!
Saskatoon Blades edged the Penticton Vs 5-3 last night, thanks in part to a 2-goal third period. The Blades have officially clinched a playoff berth. Second Saskatchewan team to do so. Let's get over to the Weather Center. We have an update on Alvelk.
Yeah, so my mom actually texted me. For those of you who missed it earlier, it was a Tele Miracle throwback. I'm apologizing to somebody named Elvalk. I have to think I got their name wrong.
Right.
Elvalk. My mom texts me and says, "You have a second cousin named Elvalk."
She's got to be messing with you.
And I said, "You're lying." And she said, "No."
Has to.
So I don't know. Also, somebody in Larange, I believe his name is RJ, sent in a text saying we can name the police dog Elvalk. So
well, there you go.
That's another option that we have. Let's take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. If you're heading out in Regina this morning, not a bad start to the day, -3. So temperatures have been improving. A few clouds up in the sky, but not as much as what we were seeing overnight. So again, we're seeing some improvements. Winds at 20 kilometers per hour in both of our major cities this morning. Saskatoon waking up to that temperature of -7 still. We've really been stuck at that -7 mark since about 6 a.m. this morning. And a few more clouds in the sky in the Saskatoon area. That trend will continue into the later parts of the afternoon. Now, today's wind gusts down in the southwest corner are going to be quite strong. Could be seeing those gusts up to about 65 kilometers per hour. So be prepared for those if you're living in areas around Maple Creek down there, East End Cypress, really areas all the way up to Swift Current there. Saskatoon, Regina, Estevan, right on the outskirts of those strong wind gusts, could be seeing them just up to about 30 kilometers per hour. Looking at our current temperatures board here, we're still seeing those cooler temperatures in the areas all lit up in pink. So I want to draw your attention to South End at -24, Stony Rapids at -21. Not so bad in those blue areas, Spiritwood -1, Melfort -10. Down towards the south, we're even starting to see some of those lighter blue colors. So -1 around Swift Current, -2 in Moose Jaw, -3 in Assiniboia, -5 to wake us up in Estevan. Cooler through Yorkton, still seeing some of those pink colors there, -13. Into the afternoon hours, we are going to be seeing some precipitation mainly up north, and that's going to be snow falling in areas where we're still seeing those negative temperatures all day long. From Prince Albert down towards the south, though, we're seeing a lot of those positive temperatures, which means that precipitation is turning to rain or ice pellets, some sleet falling from the sky this afternoon. It's not really going to be until the later parts of the afternoon and into the evening hours. The early afternoon, we could be seeing some more of that sunshine. 3 degrees, though, for the Battlefords, 4 degrees for Saskatoon. Down towards the south, some more sunshine. Regina reaching 7 degrees. 9 degrees for Swift Current with those winds, and 5 degrees for Estevan, mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures will be dropping for your Friday, -11 in Regina and -12 on Saturday. So the weekend is starting off cold. We're getting a little bit of relief on Sunday, -4, 0 degrees on Monday, and then back up to those positive temperatures by Tuesday. In Saskatoon, dropping down to -15 tomorrow, -17 on Saturday. A little bit more of that sunshine expected that day, though. -9 on Sunday, -9 on Monday, and then up to -3 by Tuesday.
Back to City Hall in Regina we go as we welcome in the mayor of this fine city, Chad Wyszynski. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Long list to get to. We'll start with the new growth plan.
Sure.
And how we plan to sustainably grow this city.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably one of the most important decisions we made yesterday in terms of this new growth plan. This plan lets us grow in a financially responsible way. The old plan was very much kind of looked at in silos, and so what was happening is we were investing millions in infrastructure that we weren't fully maybe utilizing. And so now we've got a more comprehensive kind of sequenced way of growing that's going to allow us to invest responsibly as well as address multiple issues at the same time with that investment. So for example, we'll be addressing greenfield growth outside at the perimeter of the city. It'll be addressing intensification in the city to try and take advantage of our infrastructure inside, as well as addressing things like basement flooding that we see in some areas to address some of those capacity issues.
Speaking of the perimeter of the city, a lot of people are concerned about the AI data center that was proposed. RM of Edenwald also taking steps to do some stuff out there. What's the reaction been like to your office?
Yeah, there's been some folks concerned, and mainly, again, this is in the RM, so we as the city don't really have a purview on the project itself, but I know that I've had some concerns about water usage. That's been the big concern that I've seen. What I can tell you is from my perspective, I would never be in a support of something that would jeopardize the water for our residents, our water system. So if any project, not even this one, but any project was to come forward to request any connection to city services, I would expect there would be a comprehensive review of what the designs are, the detailed design are, to make sure that there would be no negative impact to water capability or capacity for our residents.
That data center, we believe, is proposed by BCE, which is a parent company of our network. Transit fares is the other big talker. You delayed that, and some of the residents say that's going to cost thousands of dollars that you could be bringing in.
So it was delayed. There was some councillors at Kiniak put it forward. But there's some folks wanting to take just a couple more weeks to look and see if there's other options to make up that deficit, that revenue deficit. However, from my perspective, we did approve that at budget. What that means is there is a budgeted amount that we need for that revenue. So if we don't have another trade-off or lever to pull there, the only way to make up that gap is to increase those fares. Otherwise, that money will have to come from our general fund reserve, which we know through budget discussions is severely depleted. And so if there's no other option, my expectation is that we have to move forward because we have no other option other than dipping into our reserves to make up that.
Is that where we're moving to, is more of a user-based fee? If you're going to use the pool, you got to pay for the pool. If you're going to use transit, you got to pay is that where we're moving to keep that mill rate down?
I wouldn't say we're moving to it. I would say we're in that environment, but we have to be competitive, and so we have to find the balance between having the user pay fees help offset the cost to sustainably have the services that people expect, whether it's a pool, whether it's transit, and in order to put money away for reserves, for maintaining our bus fleet, upgrading our pools or maintaining our pools. Like we need to make sure we find that balance, but to make sure it's affordable and accessible to everybody.
Got 30 seconds left. Your State of the City is coming up on March 12th. What's your message to residents?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, if you're able to make it out, it's for a great cause. Kiwanis is putting it on, and all the funds will go to charities like Ronald McDonald House and North Central Family Centre and some others. But really, it's a chance for me to reflect and to give some perspective on where we've gotten to, but also some of the thoughts on the future for our city. And I think there's some positive things to talk about there. So,
well, we'll be there with a camera, I'm sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Let's head back out on location with Janelle Lippi as she checks back in with a few other students, part of today's U of S Bed Push.
Good morning. We are coming back to you from the start of this year's bed push. And I've got Emily and Justin with me here this time around. We're going to talk more about this Tele Miracle fundraiser. So, Emily, let's start with you. Tell me a little bit about how people can donate through the bed push.
Yeah, so we have multiple platforms. We have our LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also donate on our website. It's www.ufsagros.ca. There's a whole contact page, and you can donate online. We also take cash on the side of the road if you flag us down, or you can contact just any one of your local agros that you know.
Absolutely. All right, so some great ways to be a part of such an awesome initiative. Now, let's talk a little bit about the organization process of this. What does it feel like to be a part of it this year?
Honestly, being a part of the organization is so fulfilling and awesome for me, just because I've seen so many people do it, and I was part of it 2 years ago in a smaller role, and this year Laurel really let me help her, and I've just been so glad to be a part of it. It's a lot of work, if I'm going to be honest, but it's worth it. Every day you just feel more fulfilled and better by everything. So,
oh, that's incredible to hear. What is that teamwork like?
Honestly, it takes a lot of people. We've literally been texting everyone, and we're just yeah, can you help do this? Can you run around and do this? And it's so nice to see a community of people that get together and just want to be a part of it and want to help. So it's awesome.
Well, this sounds amazing. Now, Justin, tell me a little bit about what it's like for you being a part of this year.
It's surreal. It's a really great experience. The whole community of us agros comes together towards a common goal and raise money for Tele Miracle.
Yeah. All right, what are you most looking forward to?
I think same as Garrett, got to see that Saskatoon sign, see at the end of the push.
Yeah. Well, time well spent, you both. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Once again, today is day one. You can see them on the side of the road, give them a wave, and if you're able to, you can donate too.
It's February 26th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Tanya. Today is her 50th birthday. Have a great day. Lots of love from Michelle, Corey, and DeMarcus. And turning 25 years old today is Tori. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your special day. A whole lot of love coming your way from your friends and your family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Kayleen said you did a bad job of being uplifting yesterday.
Only in the start. I got more uplifting throughout it. But we were talking a little bit about afterlife in the first one, because Facebook and AI.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I think I found myself down that trend because today we're going back. We're going back to that. This is with Spotify. If music is life for you, and you're like, well, what about music after life? Well, Spotify has teamed up with a company to put out a special urn that has a Bluetooth speaker in it too. So we are going to talk about that for a little bit. Then uplifting-wise, we did give a trip away this morning to Jamaica. Loren won that one. She went absolutely bonkers when she got the news. And tomorrow you could be getting the winning phone call too. And off to that Sandals Resort Inn in Jamaica. Your next keyword to enter is coming up very quickly here at 8 o'clock this morning.
Delete the app. That'll reset your algorithm, and then you'll be happier.
That's all you need. Although I don't mind these things. So this one anyway, the Spotify urn. That's something I could get behind.
Okay, as long as it's not playing a certain AC/DC song. Bye.
Yes. See you tomorrow, Daryl.
Must find the owner of this glove.
You sound as if you have been made a new man.
The second half of Bridgerton Season 4 just arrived on Netflix, and fans of the Bridgerton book series are anticipating one very steamy scene between the characters of Benedict and Sophie. But Luke Thompson, who plays Benedict, tells ABC News Radio there wasn't any pressure.
Bridgerton is absolutely a show that wants to meet the fans where they are, but is also a show that's trying to surprise people as well and bring people where they don't expect.
I feel like something's coming.
I think we
all know what's coming.
Is there trouble in Salt Lake City? A new trailer for Hulu's Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 4 shows the ladies struggling with the demands of their newfound stardom. The hit reality series returns March 12th on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Do you think we're a good team?
Of course.
Another box office milestone for Zootopia 2. The Disney animated film is now officially the highest grossing domestic movie release of 2025, taking in over $424 million. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And Grammy-winning singer Michael Bolton is turning 73 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
JD, what do you got for us?
Oh, if only making friends as adults was as easy as when we were kids.
You want to see how high I can jump? Sure.
That was actually pretty high.
Hey, you want to be friends?
Yeah.
All right. My favorite color is yellow.
That's all you got to do. Show off your jump, right? And then you share your favorite color and something else cool you can do, and that's BFFs right there.
Yeah, this is really how it happens, because I watched my daughter a couple weeks ago go up to a group of girls at the play place and just invite herself into their group, and that was that.
Yep.
She just walked in, and it was like, okay.
Mateo does that. Theodore and I like this now.
Yeah.
Oh, who's Theodore? He's my best friend. Oh, okay.
If only we could all have this skill.
Shout out to Theodore. All right, time out. We're back after this. It's Thursday, February 26th.
I want to see deals that are going to be tangible, that will represent material investment in New Brunswick's economy.
A 10-day trade mission begins today with our premier joining the delegation headed to India with the Prime Minister.
The groceries, even that too, Pampers, all that stuff, it really adds up.
Saskatchewan has the highest rate of child poverty in the country, according to a new report. And we are just days away from Tele Miracle 50. Ring those phones, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
Boy, oh boy, what a day, what a time to be alive. I feel like a new person now after that daycare plague.
It feels so good to get like how you feel after you're sick, right?
Yeah.
Because you forgot how good it feels to feel normal.
I almost forgot how good it feels to be like 4 degrees. Yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's going to be even warmer today. Regina expecting 7 degrees, Saskatoon about 4 degrees, but still really nice.
That means Maple Creek's going to be like 12.
9.
Let's get to news. So Prime Minister Mark Carney kicking off a 10-day trade mission to India, Australia, and Japan. But there are serious questions over whether India is actively involved in foreign interference in this country. Federal officials appear to be downplaying the ongoing threat of foreign interference and transnational repression from India. Officials say Canada has been engaged in what they call robust and mature discussions with the Indian government. We'll continue to follow that story. As the Prime Minister leaves for his trade trip today, François-Philippe Champagne, the Finance Minister, saying it does not sound like the U.S. is planning to lift tariffs.
The view of the American administration is that there'll be a price to access the American market. I think, every country of the world that I know of is paying a price.
The minister's comment comes after the president's State of the Union address, in which he doubled down on his tariff-based economic policy. His trade negotiator says he's expecting to talk to Canadians. Saskatchewan has the highest rate of child poverty in Canada, according to a new report. The Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives says more than 78,000 Saskatchewan kids, about 27%, were living in poverty in 2023, above the national average. The rate is even higher for Saskatchewan kids under 6. And nearly half of children in single-parent families are living below the poverty line. This parent says it's getting out of control.
Even that too, Pampers, all that stuff, it really adds up.
According to the report, the child poverty rate is highest in the north, followed by Prince Albert, then Yorkton. Major development in the quadruple murder case last year on Carry the Kettle, Nakota Nation. One of the youths accused pleading guilty to lesser charges. Jacob Carr reports.
One of the 4 co-accused in a quadruple homicide on Carry the Kettle, Nakota Nation in 2025 has entered a guilty plea to 4 counts of manslaughter here at provincial court. The now 16-year-old, whose identity is protected by the Youth Criminal Justice Act, is one of 4 people charged in the February 2025 quadruple homicide of Tracy Hodamani, Sheldon Kwewizants, Shauna Faye, and Terry Jack at a home on Carry the Kettle. Many friends and family of the victims were on hand to watch the proceedings, so much so that Judge James Corpin decided to move to a bigger courtroom, saying, quote, anyone who wants to view these proceedings should be able to. The youth who pleaded guilty was 15 at the time of the crimes. He was among the first people charged after being arrested on February 18th of 2025, along with 18-year-old Darius Reset. Both were originally charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. A third suspect, also a youth who cannot be identified, was arrested on December 10th of 2025 and also charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. He is set to appear in provincial court on March 27th. That youth is also facing 1 count of attempted murder stemming from an altercation between the accused and a 5th person at the home where the killings occurred. On February 5th of this year, a 4th person was charged in connection to the homicides. Lauren Elvis Hodamani is facing 1 count of accessory after the fact to murder. At the end of the day's proceedings, Justice Corpin accepted the guilty plea. Sentencing is scheduled for Friday, April 24th. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
City Council in Saskatoon buying a building for a new drop-in center for the second time in 4 months, spending some money, JD.
Yeah, Daryl. At City Council's regular meeting this week, Council agreed to buy this property on Idlewild Drive for $1.6 million. It'll be used as a permanent 24-hour drop-in center for homeless people to warm up or cool down, have a drink of water, and to use the washroom. It's not considered a shelter since there will be no one sleeping at the facility. Council previously bought a building on Avenue C and opened it as a drop-in center in November, but wanted to move it after the winter because it's next door to the Salvation Army's shelter. Plenty of concerns raised on Wednesday highlighted an upcoming daycare opening in May just steps away, and the lack of consultation with one of the tenants of the building finding out about the purchase just this week. But Council felt they could not delay.
As a business owner, I pay. The repairs, the cleanup, the insurance, the time, the disruption, the stress, it all adds up, and it's exhausting. It raises broader concerns about protecting downtown's long-term fiscal strength and maintaining confidence in the plans that are communicated to us as investors.
None of this is a perfect solution. I'm in agreement with that. I also know that we have an urgent situation that calls for action.
City will move in on one half of the building May 31st to begin renovations with the goal of opening fully in November. Saskatoon seeing a spike in drivers speeding through school zones. A new traffic report from Saskatoon Police shows nearly 40,000 speed camera violations in school zones last year, nearly 7 times 2020 levels. Violations also nearly doubled from 2022 to 2023, the first full year after City Council extended school zone hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. year-round. Police say part of the increase is due to Saskatoon's growing population, meaning more drivers are on the road, but adds the point of the tickets, well, they're meant to change behavior.
As a reminder to those to slow down. It also generates those conversations for those that are receiving those tickets with friends and families to talk about those tickets, because as we know, people like to talk about tickets.
SGI says one camera rotates through 4 school zone locations in the city, and St. Michael Community School on 33rd Street East sees the most violations. Some drivers have been clocked at 70 kilometers an hour, which is more than double the speed limit there. Well, Daryl, discussions over Regina's transit increase have been delayed.
Yeah, pushed back another 2 weeks after being tabled by council.
I am asking for some additional time to seek additional options to address the concerns that have been raised with this bylaw.
In December, during budget deliberations, councillors passed a motion to increase bus fares 10%, decision which has faced public opposition. It was scheduled to pass finalized bylaw vote yesterday, but was tabled to next meeting. City is hoping to implement that by April 1st. It might be delayed now, which could cost the city, they say, thousands of dollars.
Will just be delayed corresponding amount, and then there's approximately $36,000 in lost revenues for every 2 weeks that we delay beyond April 1st.
City Council expected to discuss that on March 11th. We spoke to the mayor this morning on the program. That's available on our website. The next time you're parking in downtown Regina, leave your change at home. Starting this Sunday, you can't use coins anymore. It's all going to be pay by phone through the app. Bags with instructions on the new process will be put over current meters to prevent you from putting a coin in, but you can still park and pay to park with the current rules in effect. The change was approved during budget discussions under the name of efficiency.
We're going to do our best to try and help people navigate that change, but ultimately I think it's going to lead to a more effective way to not only allow us to collect on parking as we move forward, but also to change and adapt to the needs of parking.
The program evolves. The city will begin removing the physical meters. Actors took to the stage for the first of 4 performances of The Tempest. But as Damian Smith tells us, these performances will be different, with the play largely being put on by deaf people.
13 actors taking to the stage to perform The Tempest, a play written by William Shakespeare with a twist.
We have removed all of the language. There's no spoken language, there's no closed captioning, there's no sign language. We have taken all of the language of the show and turned it into physical theater, puppetry, mime, projection.
Deaf Crows Collective, which has been operating for 10 years now, says the process of developing the play took about 3 years, and they've recruited 9 new actors for this production.
When you throw in having to take Old English and translate it into American Sign Language, it doesn't necessarily always translate the best way. So we really wanted to take on that challenge.
Some actors like Fatima Nafisa have been there since the start, and she's playing the lead role of Miranda.
In our version of the show, Miranda is more mature and confident. She fights for what she wants. She's not allowing herself to be a victim.
Others are pulling double duty, both acting and directing. Mustafa Alabsi, who fled from Syria in 2016, finds parallels between himself and Prospero, trying to find themselves in the world.
Similar to Prospero, I didn't know what to do. I had a lot of learning to do. What was my future going to look like? I knew nothing.
Both are experienced actors and share the same inspiration, the famous Charlie Chaplin.
There was no sound. There was nothing in those shows. It was just physical theater and mime, and that, I just loved that so much. He was just on like a really simple stage, but then when I see that, like, you could actually perform in front of a whole audience with people looking at you, I was really nervous and kind of scared about that.
The Tempest runs at the Regina Performing Arts Centre until Saturday. Deaf Crows Collective is also hoping to tour it across the country within the next year. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Southern Saskatchewan loves their chain restaurants. Soon there'll be another in the mix in Regina. Saskatchewan's first IHOP, International House of Pancakes. It's also going to include an Applebee's. You see it on your screen. Will open in East Regina on March 17th. It's going to be at that Chili's building, which later became a rotisserie buffet restaurant right beside the McDonald's. If you know the area, you know where that is. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Kayleen Sawatsky, who is bringing all of the good news in the form of positive temperatures.
Yeah, take a look behind me here. This morning view, absolutely beautiful. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. It's a great day to just get outside and play. Regardless of how old you are, get outside this morning. We're seeing another one of those false springs. We are going to be seeing temperatures go back down as of tomorrow, so enjoy today. -5 right now to wake us up in Regina. That is slightly cooler than where we were at a few minutes ago. No worries though, the warm-up is on the way. Winds right now coming in at 17 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we are still at -7, and we've been at -7 since about 6 o'clock this morning. Some winds coming in right now at 17 kilometers per hour, and of course you just saw some clouds up in the sky to start your day. Radar and satellite showing that we did get some snow overnight. So mainly we're seeing it falling today way up north, but overnight we saw it in areas around Saskatoon, and between Saskatoon to Regina on the highway there, it could be partially covered. So if that's part of your commute today, just be careful with that. Futurecast showing what we're seeing right now. This is current on your screen for your Thursday morning. So we're seeing some snow falling right now in areas around Prince Albert and areas north of Prince Albert. That system's actually going to grow into the later parts of the morning and into the early afternoon. So again, mainly concentrating for the areas up north, but we are going to be getting some of that snow and mixed precipitation as well through areas around the Battlefords, Lloydminster, Saskatoon into the later parts of the afternoon. Overnight and into the evening, we see it down through Swift Current and potentially even some flakes overnight around Regina, exiting the province through Estevan there. Now, Friday morning, it seems like we're getting a bit of a break from the precipitation, but we are seeing some increased levels of clouds. And then into the evening hours on Friday, we'll also see a bit of that system that you see at the bottom corner of your screen there in southwest Saskatchewan. Areas around Swift Current could be seeing some of those flurries again late tomorrow night. Today's forecast, again, talking about that precipitation late into the afternoon, early evening for central Saskatchewan there, but nice temperatures. Battlefords and Saskatoon reaching 4 degrees. Prince Albert expecting 2 degrees. Some more sunshine down towards the south. Regina up to 7 degrees. Weyburn now expecting 6 degrees. Estevan expecting a 5-degree high this afternoon. And beautiful temperature over in Swift Current, 9 degrees, but that is where we're expecting to see the strongest wind gusts, likely up to about 65 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, temperatures will be dropping, as we mentioned, -11 for Regina tomorrow, -12 on Saturday, but a little bit more of that sunshine on that day, -4 on Sunday, 0 degrees on Monday, and up to 3 degrees on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, dropping down to -15 tomorrow, -17 on Saturday. So a cool start to the weekend, but it does get better on Sunday, -9. That temperature going to continue on into Monday, and then reaching -3 by Tuesday.
February 26, 2010, this day in history, Charles and François Hamelin, Olivier Jean-François Louis Tremblay, and Guillaume Bastille won Olympic gold in the men's 5,000-meter short track speed skating relay race in Vancouver. Kayleen loves when I speak French. February 26, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot and killed while walking home from a store in Sanford, Florida. And in 1997, Celine Dion won Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards for Falling Into You.
How would you feel about getting spiritual advice from a robot, guys?
Not good.
こんにちは。ブッダロイドです。何かお悩みはありますか?
No.
Come on.
This is
a robot monk created and unveiled by Japanese researchers. It's known as Buddharoid. I don't know why. It can answer sensitive questions that some may feel hesitant to share with other humans. It's powered by AI that researchers say can dispense spiritual advice and maybe one day work to assist human monks. Who I think famously avoid technology, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that robot's famously avoiding that chair. Do you see him knocking that thing over, trying to back into it?
I hate to sound like a hater, but I don't think I'm a fan of Buddharoid.
Oh, poor Buddharoid.
Nah.
Let's get over to the question of the day. RCMP wants your help, specifically if you're between the ages of 4 and 14, to name their new breed of police dog. They want them to start with a B, 2 syllables, 9 letters. We've discarded some of those, but a lot of you have continued on the B trend.
And there is just no way we can fit in all the answers this morning. We had so many, but we're going to get through as many as we can. Donna saying Buddy, and we had Michelle saying Booner, a cool name for a dog. Kim saying Beetlejuice.
Say it 3 times and he appears.
Well, you just once. I just said it once.
Don't.
One more.
Lori
Nope.
saying Bruce. I like that one. It's kind of legally blonde, like Bruiser. We had one saying Badger, another saying Bubba.
Bubba, that must have come in from my wife because it's the only male name she seems to know. Bubba or Hank.
Leanne saying Bono, Brutus, Brute, Bob, Bryce, Beyonce, Bray, or Brody. Favorite out of those has to be Beyonce.
Oh, I don't know.
I would love if they named one Beyonce.
Brutus seems pretty good. Bravo.
Bravo, I also like.
Bravo Tango.
I think
right?
Bravo is...
Makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense for a police dog. Boss from Lynn. I like that.
Bongo.
Bongo from Janine. We had D saying Buster. We had another answer coming in saying Bounder.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that one would be the speedy one. Find which one is the fastest one. Name them Bounder.
Or the slowest and just make it ironic.
Yeah. Lorraine saying Barrel and Tracy saying Baxter or Bruiser.
Baxter. Makes me think of Anchorman every time.
Last few answers here. Buttons, Buddy, and Buster, and Biddington.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Karen. Thanks to all of you who participated. We got health news on the other side of this break.
It's almost that time of year again. The flowers, the sun, the pollen ready to pounce.
And you definitely don't want to wait for the onset of symptoms.
Dr. Rohit Katyal with National Jewish Health says if you suffer from seasonal allergies, now is the time to get ready before spring has sprung and symptoms are triggered so the reaction isn't as extreme.
And in most places in the United States, the trees go first. So those who are tree allergic, they're going to feel the most symptoms here early in the season.
To prevent severe allergy symptoms, Katyal says to go ahead and start using steroid nasal sprays, which can help reduce inflammation, swelling, and mucus in the nose. He says most should be sprayed once a day before and throughout the season.
That's a great one to start, but that can't be used as needed. Once somebody begins those nasal steroid sprays, they should be used daily.
Katyal says to take daily oral antihistamine medication as needed. If your allergies tend to start earlier, he says it's okay to take the pills in advance. But if your spring symptoms are late bloomers, like if you have grass allergies, consider starting the pills closer to grass season around late April.
If you tend to have really severe eye symptoms where you really have a lot of daily itch, then the eye drops are also a nice addition to the regimen.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Now to an issue facing more parents these days. Young children, long before they hit their teen years, are asking to wear makeup. Here's Hannah Patah.
February is Heart Month, and of course, that's when we pay greater attention to heart disease and the people who have dealt with it and those who are helping to prevent these things. And with us today, Penny Greensides. She is someone who knows firsthand what it is to deal with a heart attack. So first of all, Penny, glad to have you with us so we can do this interview.
Very grateful to be here. Yes, this is a very good topic, and I'm very fortunate to be here. So I'm proud to talk about the subject.
Well, fortunate, but also, I'll say proactive, because my understanding is that you had to essentially be your own advocate when it came to letting the medical professionals know that something was very wrong.
Yeah, so at 49, I don't know if I had an incident, and it was just a beautiful summer day, and I was working outside, and I was working hard, and all of a sudden I recognized that something was wrong after a while. So after trying to doctor myself, after thinking very mild symptoms, I decided to drive myself to the emergency, and which we found out that I had a mild heart attack.
And one of the other things I understand that it is, important to take into consideration is stress. And we're not talking about the physical stress of doing that yard work, but stress. And that is also something that sometimes goes unnoticed, but can lead to real problems.
Well, I think, women have so many additional factors, whether it be age, whether it be hormones, whether it be stress, emotions. I think those, in addition to the basics that we all have to monitor, can really affect our health. And it's something that we need to be on top of. And if we feel off, we need to question our physicians or the many resources we have and say, I think there's something off here. Can we please test? Yeah.
All right. And that's the thing. I guess sometimes you have to be self-advocating for yourself in those very dicey situations and what could be life-threatening situations. If people want more information, where can they go?
Oh, we have so many great resources. We have the heart and stroke. We have cardiac care units here in Regina that are amazing. If you have a question, go to urgent care or even talk to people, advocates. Like if you want to have that straight one-on-one discussion, call them. We have many wonderful resources. So I just say don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it, and make sure you ask the questions if you have some.
All right. Well, Penny, we're just about out of time here, so thank you so much for joining us today. And once again, great to have you with us, Penny Greensides, to talk about heart and stroke awareness. And thanks again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
This week, Premier Scott Moe making another trade mission, this time to India, and he's going with the Prime Minister again. They are going to try to strengthen trade opportunities and promote Saskatchewan foods and exports, top of mind, of course, with the goal of getting them into the Indian market.
We look forward to continued collaboration with our federal counterparts to protect Saskatchewan's economy and to build on these vital relationships with countries around the world. Saskatchewan has an opportunity to remain a key partner in providing India's 1.4 billion people with food and energy security. And that is our aim on this mission, to advance that effort and that goal and the successes that may come.
January, the two were in China, where they struck a deal on reducing canola tariffs. Innovation Saskatchewan is investing $460,000 in University of Regina research projects. The three projects receiving funding are advanced antibacterial research technology, water quality research, and the waste management system design lab. This money, through the Innovation and Science Fund, will help provide projects with specialized lab tools, now field equipment, and enhanced computing power.
Biology is evolving, and we have to keep fighting and keep evolving and keep trying new things all the time. So it's an ongoing process. We've seen some success, and we need to do more to address this crisis.
Dollar amount matches funding from the Canada Innovation Foundation and the John R. Evans Leaders Fund. Bill and Hillary Clinton scheduled to testify in a House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein this week after Republicans and some Democrats in Congress worked towards a deal that would have seen the couple held in criminal contempt of Congress. The Clintons had avoided testifying in what they had called a Republican plot against them for months. They agreed to comply after it became clear that the House was moving toward a bipartisan vote to hold them in criminal contempt. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comey Comer says the Clintons aren't being accused of wrongdoing, but they had a lot of questions. That depositions are set to take place in New York, where the Clintons live, with Hillary appearing today and Bill on Friday. A third round of indirect talks are underway in Switzerland aimed at lowering the tension between the United States and Iran over Iran's nuclear program. The talks between American and Iranian delegations are taking place at the Omani ambassador's residence near Geneva. They're taking place against a backdrop of massive U.S. military buildup in the Middle East. The two countries renewed negotiations this month in an effort to break a decades-long impasse over Tehran's nuclear program. The Children's Festival of Saskatchewan has announced it will return this year, but still searching for a title sponsor. The festival will return to Kinsman Park June 4th to 7th, featuring theatric performances, music, storytelling, and interactive play. Festival says for the first time in years it does not have a presenting sponsor and is encouraging organizations interested to step forward. The Prince Albert Raiders have their sights set on a conference title. Jasmine Peltier reports.
The Prince Albert Raiders continue to skate away and are ranked second in Canada, trailing the Everett Silvertips, who have held on to the #1 spot for 4 consecutive weeks. Following a 4-1 win over the Swift Current Broncos last week, the Raiders clinched the East Division title for their second year running.
Our focus is on the conference now and trying to get that one done and keep getting points in every games. Just continuing to build on our game, and we had a good week of practice here to build for the weekend.
They won't face another team again until Friday.
It's been nice. We had some community events and stuff this week, and we're able to get out and did a kids skate there last night. So that's been really good to kind of get away from the rink a little bit and see some different things, and just continue to build.
This weekend, the Prince Albert team will face Penticton and Prince George.
We haven't played Penticton ever, so obviously they're new season, inaugural season this year, and so that's going to be fun. And then Prince George is also at the top of the other conference, so 2 big games, and just looking forward to playing a new team and showing them what we got.
Defenseman Daxon Rudolph has another recent accomplishment: the Raiders' all-time leader for power play goals by a defenseman.
Definitely not something I was looking forward to in the summertime, but as I was getting closer and closer, it kind of became more of a topic of conversation, and obviously getting recognized and passing Josh Morrissey for that is pretty cool. So like I said, as I got closer and closer, I wanted to pass it. Fortunate enough, I got to.
The Raiders will be back in action with back-to-back home games Friday and Saturday. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Sega Rewards has been named the presenting sponsor of Saskatoon's new music festival. Jelly Roll, set to headline the Outskirts Music Festival June 26th. The one-day outdoor music festival is being held on the grounds of SaskTel Centre. Third Eye Blind, Cooper Allen, Widemouth Mason among the acts. As part of the sponsorship, Sega Rewards will be giving fans who purchase their tickets before the 4th of March a $60 credit to play slots at any Sega casino. Tickets are on sale now. As Saskatchewan prepares for Tele Miracle 50, many reflecting on its rich history. Here's Hallie Mandrick.
Which way are we going?
This was Tele Miracle 3 in 1979, a time Ron Barry remembers fondly. That's the year he took on the role of Tele Miracle chair. At the time, he never imagined he would witness the telethon continue for 5 decades.
Nobody imagined when we started that it would ever last this long, but it's just, people bought in province-wide, and they bought in till now. So it's magic and it's great.
47 years later, Barry watched as a flag was raised at Saskatoon City Hall in honor of Tele Miracle 50, set for this weekend.
It's very special that we still have some of our legacy founders with us to come and celebrate. It means a lot to us and to them.
Blackwell says this golden anniversary has many people reflecting on what's kept Tele Miracle going for so long.
Everyone is taking a piece of the pie and the shared collective responsibility, and I believe that that's ultimately what's led us to being here to celebrate 50 years, is because Saskatchewan has built and embraced and loved this thing for 49 years.
Barry says the show has come a long way in 5 decades, recalling how the team traveled to research other telethons.
We went to telethons in Edmonton and Winnipeg just to see how they operated, and learned a lot about it, and it hasn't stopped. It's probably the biggest telethon in North America now.
Tele Miracle 50 is set to kick off on Saturday at 7 p.m., running all the way through until Sunday at 5. If you're in Saskatoon, you can come on down to Prairieland Park and watch it in person, or you can either catch a live stream on the Tele Miracle website or watch it right here on CTV. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The one part she didn't mention is you can watch all of it right here on CTV Saskatchewan.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring those phones. So let's get over to you and talk about 9 degrees in Maple Creek.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a really beautiful day, especially down in that southwest corner around Maple Creek. Swift Current up to about 9 degrees. Regina expecting about 7 degrees. Saskatoon about 4 degrees. So really all those places above the seasonal average today. This morning, though, not quite as warm. Of course, we're getting there. Temperatures have been fluctuating a little bit. It's really nice to look outside, though. It's bright and sunny this morning. -5 in Regina with winds at 17 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -7. Again, we've just been saying this on repeat this morning. Have not budged in Saskatoon from that -7 degree mark so far today. We're talking about the winds, though. They are going to be increasing this afternoon for some areas. We're talking about that southwest corner where we are seeing the warmest temperatures. Could be seeing those gusts surpassing 65 kilometers per hour, though. Typically, we only really see these colors up to about that red color, but now we're even seeing some purple spots that are popping up. So again, just be prepared for these winds to really knock your socks off today. Futurecast showing we're also seeing some precipitation in the province, mainly concentrating up north. That system's getting larger by the early parts of the afternoon. But we are also going to be seeing some precipitation, just not quite as much in areas of central and southern Saskatchewan. And it's not going to be in the early afternoon. Right now, we're projecting it to be falling in the later parts of the afternoon. Saskatoon, you have a chance of seeing some freezing rain or some ice pellets into the later parts of the evening. And then overnight, Swift Current, Regina also has a chance of seeing some of those flurries. We are talking about a lot of this precipitation disappearing by Friday morning, though, and a little bit more popping up late into the evening for the southwest corner tomorrow. Current temperatures showing that we're still seeing those cool temperatures in all those pink zones. Stony Rapids at -23. That is down from what we were seeing last hour. -23 in South End. That's a slight improvement from a few minutes ago. -12 in Prince Albert. -14 in Hudson Bay. 0 degrees in Spiritwood, so a nice wake up there. Down towards the south, also sharing that 0 degree temp is Swift Current right now. -3 in Moose Jaw, Assiniboia, and East End. -4 to wake us up in Weyburn, and -5 in Estevan. Temperatures later on this afternoon, again, looking really nice. 2 degrees for Yorkton, 7 degrees for Regina, 4 degrees for Saskatoon, 8 degrees for Moose Jaw, and 9 degrees for Swift Current. We do see the temperatures dropping into our afternoon, into our weekend rather. So in the afternoon on Friday, -11 in Regina, -12 on Saturday. A little bit of relief on Sunday for -4 in Regina. In Saskatoon now, -15, mix of sun and cloud. Tomorrow, -17 on Saturday. So definitely a cold start to the weekend. -9 by Sunday.
Yes, indeed. New Gold Magic. It is the latest single off a brand new album from Econoline Crush. It comes out on Friday and it's called Econoline Crush. Tele Miracle 50 goes this weekend. The Saskatchewan airwaves will be featuring tons of local talent and also some special guests. And one of those special guests this year, yes, Econoline Crush. It is going to be exciting to have them on stage, part of Tele Miracle. And then, of course, they're going to be at Sasktel Centre on Sunday. So it's going to be quite the busy weekend. And Trevor Hurst, the frontman for Econoline Crush, joins us now. So first of all, thanks for taking time for us.
Well, thanks for having me. And yeah, it's good to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about the whole idea of, setting, because I know you've got a side hustle as a psychiatric nurse. But so what was the process like of, as they say in the Blues Brothers, getting the band back together to put the album together and then go on the road?
Oh, I love that movie. It's easy. We've been doing it like any time that I have downtime or we have an opportunity and it works. I definitely we go out and we play shows. It's not as strange as you would think it would be to be a psych nurse and a musician. I think there's a lot of common ground. There's a lot of addiction issues and serious issues, but also a lot of there's a lot of madness in the world of music for sure. And so I think it segues really well.
Well, this is pretty special for us in Saskatchewan because you are touring with Live and Big Rec and playing Sasktel Centre on Sunday, as I mentioned. But you're arriving early and doing a set at Tele Miracle. Did your side hustle have something to do with you getting involved with this?
I don't know. I think it's part of it. Really, I forget how it all came about, but I jumped on it because when I was a kid, we used to go watch the one that Ronnie Prophet used to do in Alberta. Ronnie Prophet. And I loved it. We'd be in the audience, ring those phones, ring those phones. It was so awesome. And plus, all the local acts, right? It's all unique. You'll have so many different things, and the community comes together and rallies around the cause, and I think that's a beautiful thing. One of the songs on the album, Not Today, it's about suicide prevention. Can you tell me a little bit about the song? Well, yeah, for us, you see it a lot in my work personally in the community, and then also in the music business, whether it's an unintentional drug overdose or suicide. I mean, people get overwhelmed these days, it seems. And so Not Today was kind of like that about suicidal ideation and preventing it and saying, stick around just one more day, don't use the permanent solution to solve a temporary problem. Hey, we're just out of time, so we're going to have to wrap it up there. But we're excited to have you on stage at Tele Miracle on Saturday. And, of course, then the big show at Sasktel Centre on Sunday. So thanks for a few minutes this morning. You're welcome. Ring those phones. Take care. We'll see you. Okay. Take care.
All right, once more, let's check back in with Janelle Lippi and a few of the students, a part of this year's College of Agriculture Bed Push.
Okay, well, we're wrapping up our chilly morning down at the starting grounds for this year's Bed Push, and I've got Zachary and Dylan with me this time around. Let's start with you, Zachary. Tell me a little bit about your perspective on this. What is it like to be a part of such a great and 42-year standing initiative?
It's great, and this is a very big event in the College of Ag. Everyone knows about it, so leading up to it, everyone's just super excited to finally be a part of it and do it. And I think everyone here is looking really forward to it.
Absolutely they are, and so 3 days, that's a long while to be pushing this bed. What is your technique going into this?
I think treat it more like a marathon than a sprint. We'll take her one section at a time and try not to wear ourselves out too early.
That sounds like a great plan, Zachary. Thank you very much. Dylan, let's talk about you and your perspective. What are you most looking forward to?
Really, this is something I've been hearing about for years, about past agros doing it, and it's very exciting to finally get to do it myself and be a part of this.
Absolutely it is. Okay, and what was it like preparing for this? How are you going into this feeling?
There was a lot of things the last few days, just making sure everything was put together and making sure we had everything planned out for the day of, and Yeah.
Yeah. Preparation seems very intense for it. It's 3 days of a lot of work, so it's fantastic that you guys are able to do this. Thank you so very much. Once again, day one starting right here at Fitting. You can come check them out, give them a wave. You can even donate some money to be a part of the Tele Miracle this year.
Years ago this week, the song Love Will Keep Us Together by the Captain and Tennille won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. The song had been a smash hit, topping the charts for 4 weeks. It was written by Neil Sedaka, and the music critics say the song's sense of optimism and reassurance resonated in a time of political and social upheaval.
Talking me down here with your heart, and you won't hear a sound, just shout, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I'll be thinking of you.
Well, as we all know now, Hilary Duff is coming to Saskatoon next year. But today, she's reacting to that viral essay about toxic mom groups. Rhiannon Alley has the story.
This morning, Hilary Duff is addressing the so-called toxic mom group essay that went viral earlier this year.
Every single person was talking about it. And then through speculation and then people connecting the dots, like it kind of
I don't really think people had to connect very many dots.
Duff on the Call Her Daddy podcast saying she was surprised by High School Musical star Ashley Tisdale French's essay titled Breaking Up with My Toxic Mom Group. Tisdale French saying that at some point she started to feel excluded from some activities and began to feel frozen out of the group, saying at one point she texted them, "This is too high school for me and I don't want to take part in it anymore." While she never named names, people online scouring pics on her social media, saying one of the moms in the group was Duff.
It took like a day, not even.
Right.
How did you feel when it came out and when you read it?
I felt really sad. I honestly felt really sad. I was like pretty taken aback and felt just like sad. Like I have so many groups of friends. I'm so lucky. Motherhood has brought on, like, I have my like core group of friends who have been my ride or dies for 20 years, 10 to 20 years. And I have like tons of different groups of mom friends because I have 4 kids, you know? So, I think I just was like, whoa, it sucks to read something that's like not true. And it sucks on behalf of like 6 women in all of their lives.
Duff also said the timing of the essay was difficult for her. It was published as Duff was preparing to release her first album in a decade.
I think it came at like the craziest time where I was like, the timing felt not great. And I felt used.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Several kids drove their tractors to school on Tuesday in Iowa as part of Future Farmers Week. Taylor Decker talked with students about the importance of farming.
Well, I woke up, ate some breakfast, and headed outside and went up the hill and went into 7800, and that's what I did.
11-year-old Tristan rode to school in the tractor with his grandma and sister.
How long of a ride was it? About a 20-minute.
Driving their passion to school. A total of 7 tractors hit the road, driven by students like Wyatt Canuck with the FFA chapter.
I drove a John Deere 4555, and it's mainly just been a planter and grain cart tractor.
River Valley's parking lot transformation highlights its agricultural roots during National FFA Week. This week draws attention to education and shaping future leaders.
You go out, do these random workshops with people from all around the nation, all around the state.
For students driving these tractors to school, it shows that it's more than a novelty. It's their commitment to their community and their agriculture connections.
River Valley is a rural community, so a lot of parents or farmers are involved some way in agriculture, if that's a banker or if that's a truck driver or something like that. So I can see that it's pretty natural for our school to have a lot of involvement in FFA.
At River Valley, there are about 41 people in this chapter. That's about 38% of the school, showing a great interest in this organization.
Agriculture is more diverse than just being on a farm and planting crops and all that. An FFA isn't just about growing those skills and helping you become more integrated into that agriculture field. It just helps you in general be a better person and ready for your life as you go.
Gotta love that. I think they should do that here. Also, they all park like me. I got out this morning, I looked down, I was like, not even close, and I just kept going.
I have pictures on my phone of Daryl's park
I am
jobs.
such an offender.
And anyways, so I saw the tractors come up and how they parked completely out of the lines, and I said, look, Daryl, they park like you.
Yeah, I'll own it. I'm a terrible parker. You can't even park
Good
at
for you.
CTV Saskatoon. Oh my goodness.
No,
Oof.
no, you can't.
Let's get over to our sidebar. Okay, so Jeremy, since I know you have a lot of disposable income, you might want to pay attention to this. Hundreds of film and TV memorabilia about to hit the auction block. Things from Jaws and Star Wars, more than 1,500 pieces that could raise about $9 million bucks. Pocket change for you, my friend. Light of C3PO head, and that's from The Empire Strikes Back. One of the leading items expected to get about 350 grand, maybe up to about $700,000. Harpoon gun from Jaws could get about 500 grand, they say. Prop Store Entertainment memorabilia live auction runs on March 25th in LA. Other items are from The Terminator and Harry Potter. Anything that's, you know, piques your interest?
You know what? I think I'll spend my millions elsewhere.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. As much as I would love some of that Star Wars stuff, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. A nice Harry Potter wand might look good on you, JD.
Yes. Have a magical day.
All right, here's another one for you. It's all in the details, as we know, especially in the center of our galaxy. Check out the incredible and unprecedented details of the heart of the Milky Way. A telescope in Chile revealed these beautiful shots of star-forming gases. The clouds of gas and dust surround the supermassive black hole. Isn't that cool?
We're still learning more. Jeremy this is where he says, you should just explore the oceans first.
I think there's just so much space. Let's do what we got.
Bye, everybody.